Hello everybody, a very good evening and a very warm welcome to yet another super curious, super amazing and a very interesting topic and episode of Curious Minds with me Pritesh, your host, your host and a proud educator from Embibe, welcoming you to the session. Now guys, every day I come live on Embibe Achieve CBSE 6 to 8 with so many interesting and out of the box topics from the series called Curious Minds, where we have spoken about everything, right from uh, biology to chemistry to physics to electronics to automobiles to whatnot. And in these episodes of Curious Minds, we make we make ourselves scratch our brains so that we think and we ponder about topics which are out of your textbook, which give us knowledge about the world and its whereabouts. And that is why I have come today with yet another amazing and a very curious question, that why do the cars look so similar? Whether it is a Ferrari or whether it is a Fiat or whether it is a Rolls Royce or whether it is a Santro, why do cars look so similar? They all have a very similar box kind of a design. Any car, any brand, all of them have this kind of design. you know Either it is this or it is this or it is this, but why it is like they are so similar in structure? That is the question that we are going to solve today. But before doing that, I want you guys to give a visit to the Embibe page, which is completely free of cost, and it gives you unlimited interactive learning, including test assignments, study material, question solution, explanation to solution, books, reference books, NCRTs of any board, any grade, any subject, completely free of cost. Make sure that you visit the Embibe page, and you can also download the Embibe app, which is freely available on Google Store and Apple Store. No problem, 6th March को एग्जाम है तो उसमें वरी क्यों करना है? It is going to be super easy. You are all set for the exam. Don't worry. Also guys, connect with us on Telegram by scanning the QR code, because here you get a chance to connect with your favorite educators, you get a chance to get your doubts solved, and you also get updates of whatever is happening on the channel. And now let's talk about that, why do the cars look so similar? Okay? So the reason behind that is to maximize the mileage. Vehicles with higher gas mileage are in higher demand. What do you mean by mileage? The performance of your vehicle. So a vehicle which consumes less fuel and runs more is always in high demand. Some people purchase fuel efficient vehicles to save money on the gas, that is petrol, while others do so out of environmental concern. Government regulations require automakers to improve fuel efficiency. The eventual outcome of manufacturing cars to maximize gas mileage is less design diversity and more uniform autos. So the reason why all the vehicles look same, it is because of the guidelines that are given by the government of every country to automakers, that you have to design the vehicles in a more uniform manner, so that all of them look similar and all of them give a very good mileage. To improve aerodynamic efficiency, cars have a more streamlined design. Even a small change in the design can result in lower gas mileage. Now the reason behind this is friction. So when the car is having a streamlined shape, it is very easy to reduce the air friction, which is also called as the drag, and it is very easy for the vehicle to move forward. But if the vehicle has a different shape, suppose there is a round vehicle, right? There is a round vehicle with tires over here. This will consume a lot of fuel because it will have to fight the friction. Okay? Then if the vehicle is box shape, this too will require a lot of fuel because it will have to spend a lot of energy to fight the air friction. So all the vehicles are having a streamlined shape so that they can easily fight the friction, they can easily overcome the air friction, which is also called as drag, and increase their fuel efficiency. Okay? Friction is something that opposes motion. Friction is a contact force. It is a force that opposes motion. तो फ्रिक्शन एक ऐसी कॉन्टैक्ट फोर्स है जो हमेशा मोशन को रेजिस्ट करेगी. तो अगर मोशन इस तरफ है तो फ्रिक्शन इस तरफ होगा, अगर मोशन इस तरफ है तो फ्रिक्शन इस तरफ होगा. इवन यू विल सी कि रॉकेट्स होते हैं, द रॉकेट्स ऑल्सो हैव दिस काइंड ऑफ अ शेप, राइट? द रॉकेट्स ऑल्सो हैव दिस काइंड ऑफ अ शेप. Why do rockets have this kind of a shape? It is because they also want to reduce the friction, reduce the air friction, and they can go high in the sky. and that is why this shape helps to clear the air friction or the drag. इवन जो एरोप्लेन्स होते हैं, एरोप्लेन्स का भी शेप ऐसा होता है, इवन फिश का शेप ऐसा होता है, आपके डक्स का शेप ऐसा होता है, क्रोकोडाइल्स का शेप ऐसा होता है. एवरीथिंग दैट इज ट्राइंग टू अपोज फ्रिक्शन, दे विल हैव अ स्ट्रीमलाइन शेप. स्ट्रीमलाइन का मतलब है टेपरिंग एंड्स एंड ब्रॉडर बॉडी. दिस इज कॉल्ड अ स्ट्रीमलाइन शेप. ठीक है. फ्रिक्शन को हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं ये तो मुझे नहीं पता है ना. एनीवे चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं एंड वी टॉक अबाउट ग्लोबलाइजेशन. नाउ ग्लोबलाइजेशन इज इट्स अ phenomena which has removed the national boundaries and it allows countries across the world to trade with each other, right? So that is why today in India, on the Indian roads, we see cars which are not made in India, right? Still we are able to see those cars because of globalization, because globalization allows all the countries in the world to trade with each other based on the rates that the respective countries have decided, right? And that is why India is a huge exporter of cotton, of silk, of spices and so many other things. Similarly, we import cars from Korea, Japan and other countries, right? So globalization allows open trade to all the countries with one another depending on the guidelines and depending on the rates which are decided by the respective country. Modern cars look similar because of globalization. Automakers want to appeal to as many people as they can in order to increase revenues. There was a time when you could identify the country the car came from. Automakers advertise and sell vehicles in a variety of nations worldwide. You know, there was a time when you could just look at the car and say that this car is from this country, because that particular country had that had those design specifications. Like Korean cars had a particular design, Japanese cars had a particular design, then European cars had a particular design, and so looking at the car you could identify that this car is from this country. As a result, they tend to be more cautious in their design choices and are less likely to make automobiles with unusual designs that might not be successful outside. Obviously, tomorrow if there is a car in the market, right, there's a car in the market which looks like this, nobody would want to buy it, right? Because everyone wants a car which is very sleek in design, which looks very amazing on the road, which gives them that thrill to drive, which gives them, you know, which makes them feel which makes them feel excited when they are on the road behind the wheel, right? So that is why all the automobiles in the world, they have a very very basic structure and they fit their car designs in that. Nowadays if you see all the cars, they look so similar, like I don't you know I mean I don't find any much difference between a Toyota Glanza and a Maruti Suzuki Baleno. They look so similar, at least from the behind they look so similar. Now, if you see a Tata Nano and a Tata Nexon, it feels like Nexon is a bigger version of Tata Nano, right? The design shape is so similar. Same is your Honda Jazz. Even Honda Jazz has such a egg-like structure. So all the cars, they look so similar these days, right? Yeah, you know. So if you see the Hyundai cars, they have a very typical touch, right? The Honda cars have a typical touch. The Toyota cars have a typical touch. The Kia cars have a typical touch. Like if you see Kia Seltos and Kia Sonet, they look so similar unless and until you go behind and see whether it's a Sonet or a Seltos. So, you know, that is why cars have been looking so similar. It is because number one, to appeal to the customers. Number two, to to follow the government guidelines. Now, there's a car called the Renault Kwid. Now, Renault Kwid had come when I think it came around 2015, 16, and it was like it gave you the feel of an SUV, but obviously it was not a SUV. So, that is how these automakers, they will tend to give an eyewash to the customers, and customers who fall for it, they buy it, and that is why we have all the all the cars in the world on the road in India today. Also, the buying capacity of the consumer has increased a lot in the past few years. And recently I was reading an article on how the air in Mumbai, in a city like Mumbai, which is just on the coast, it is just next to the sea, a city like Mumbai is experiencing such high levels of air pollution that the air in Mumbai has become difficult to breathe, right? And the doctors are advising not to go out for exercising and exercise indoors because the air outside is so very polluted. And why is that air pollution happening? It is because of the excess number of cars in the market, on the roads today. We have reached a point where in every family there are two cars, not even one. Every family will have two cars. Now, if you see, we don't actually need so many automobiles on the road. But what to do? The reason is that the buying capacity of the consumer has increased, and that is why they are going on buying, automobiles. And that is why the government, the budget every year is trying to reduce the buying capacity of the consumer. And they reduce the buying capacity of the consumer by increasing the loan rate. When the loan rates increase, the consumer thinks before buying, I am taking a loan of X amount and I'll be ending up paying so much. So it's better I don't take the loan. So it's better I don't buy the car, right? So that is why the government is trying its best to reduce the buying capacity of the consumer. Okay, chalo. Moving on, packaging. So automakers make their vehicles to a precise set of requirements. Fuel efficiency, safety standards, and passenger and baggage room are all included. To cut production costs and increase revenues, automakers use the same vehicle platform for multiple models across their vehicles. They will have one model and they will use that same model for all the different vehicles. For example, if I take Honda, so whether it is Honda City, Honda Civic, Honda Jazz, all of them will have a similar model. The model or the baseline, the outline will be the same, but just the outer body will be different. And that is how automakers are generating revenue. They will make one, see, basically they will design one skeleton and they will put different bodies on those skeletons, and that is how they make revenue. So while buying a car, you have to make sure that you think what is the fuel efficiency, what are the safety standards, and how comfortable do you feel sitting in the car, and how much space is your car going to take. Because in cities like Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai, all the metro cities, Kolkata, parking has become yet another very big problem, right? So parking is such a big issue that it's very difficult to find a safe parking for your vehicle. And that is why I've come across so many people who have got these huge cars like, the XUV 500 and Seltos and the Thar, the Mahindra Thar, and these big cars they have, and they have ended up selling it. Why? The reason is parking. So there is so much of parking issue, and that's why I would say that if you have a small nuclear family, you must go for compact cars rather than huge and bulky cars. Also, you have to make sure that you're looking at the fuel efficiency as well. Okay, and then less freedom for designers. The decision-making process for vehicle design involves a large number of people, and individual designers have less freedom. This leads to similar looking cars because of the specifications, limitations, and other restrictions. So, the decision makers or the people who decide, the decision makers or basically the consumer are the ones who will give the final verdict whether they like a car or they don't like a car. And that is why all the cars look so similar, because everyone has got they have developed a particular image of a car in their mind, and that is why anything else doesn't work. Like I remember Tata had launched Indica, which was a super success, and after Indica came Indigo, and after Indigo came Indigo Marina, and then came Indigo Vista. So there were so many different versions of the same car that, and also people did not appreciate that as so much. So Indica was a super hit, but its subsidiary versions did not make so much of business. So that is why people or the consumers are the final decision makers when it comes to car design, right? So now we know that why do all cars look the similar? It is because of the government regulations, because of the safety issues, because of the fuel efficiency, and because of the people being the decision maker, right? The next time if somebody asks you, you know how you have to answer this question, that why do all cars look so similar? Hi Ashish, very good evening. With that, guys, we come to the end, and this was yet another very amazing and interesting episode of Curious Minds. I hope you guys are enjoying this series, and if you are, make sure that you share it with your friends in school WhatsApp groups and everybody around. And yeah, until we meet next, this is Pritesh, your host, your dose, and a proud educator from Embibe. Signing off for now. Take care of yourselves. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay blessed, and keep imbibing. We believe in you.
Keep imbibing. We believe in you.